So setting up a menu is really easy. The way that it works is basically on what we call a cascade format. So you would go have your overall menu, then you would have your items, and then you would have your item modifiers. So these are really simple. So here we have our coffee menu. And in here you can add the name, a description if you feel the need, and also when this particular menu is going to be available from. So here it's available from Monday to Sunday, 0 to 24. So that is basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now the menu type is drinks, and the ordering type means that if it's takeaway, for example, and you only want it to be available for takeaways, you can say takeaway only. Likewise for dine-in. So a lot of the time for any venues who are serving alcohol, they would normally select alcohol would be a dine-in only because they don't really want people taking stuff away. So we're going to just leave this one a takeaway and dine-in. And your menu group is that it's hot drinks. So this is what's going to appear on the top of your controller. And it's a hot drink, so that's easy enough, and the menu is active. And what you can also do is that if you have, for example, any specials coming up, so if there's a Mother's Day special or an Easter special or what have you, you can actually pre-create a menu and then make it unactive, and then just simply click the active again when you want it to come on. It's really easy, really simple. Okay, so here, that's the overall menu. You can also select a color type as well if you want to, just to make it easier to identify, and an icon too if need be. And these are your sequence and state numbers. That's more just for the back end of stuff as well. Okay. So that's your overall menu on the top. Now, beneath the coffee menu, we're going to start having items. So here we have an item. And the first item under our coffee menu is a flat white. So this is what a normal item would look like when it's populated and everything is filled in. So we have the name of the item and also a description if you want to. So for example, if you have a bottle of wine on your menu, you can actually put a description in there what the particular wine is like, where it comes from, what have you, so that if your waiter is asked about that particular bottle, all they need to do is just hold their finger on the item, and a little dialog box will pop up with the information that you've entered in the description, and they can actually give your customers all the information that they need about that particular product. You also have the price, very simple. Item is taxable. That just basically means that it apportions a part of that price and works out what the GST on that is. You can also choose to have a code in there as well. The system does often sort of generate it automatically, but you can choose to have your own ones in there. So it's FW flat white. It's not really necessary, but it is there if you need it. Revenue center. So this is coming back to what we were saying earlier about having a revenue center so that the system knows where to send this item. So the system is being told that it needs to send this to the beverage revenue center. So if your barista is sitting at the front with an iPad, all they would need to do is then just select beverage on the revenue center for the items that they want to see. And then as long as that is ticked, it'll come up there. Your item class, same sort of thing. Just select beverage, and you have categories. It's not a starter, main, entree, side, or dessert, but it is sort of there's the closest one that you can get. So we know that being a coffee, there are certain bits of information that we want to know. For example, what size a person wants their coffee. So this is a required modifier. So you can pop in any letter, any number that you want in there. So we're going to assign our what we call a required modifier to group A. So that means that any modifier that I say is in group A means that the waiter or the customer will have to select an option from that particular group. So I would normally put all the sizes in group A. So in group A we would have small, medium, large, extra large, because we need to know that bit of information. Everything else is optional. the menu is available, and if you want to, you can also put any health information on here as well. So this is more specifically for allergies or any specific eating requirements. So nuts may contain wheat, may contain dairy, all that sort of thing. Not completely necessary, but it's there if you need it. So that is the actual item itself. Now we can move on to the modifiers. And as you can see here, we've gone down 2 steps, and this is the first modifier which we have, which is regular. So that is our size. And as you can see here, we've popped it in group A to say that this is one of the pieces of information that we need to know. And likewise with large. So regular here, there's no additional price because we've made the base price of $3.50. That is our regular price. So this is our second modifier, which is large. So again, this is part of the size option that we need to know. So again, we've popped it in group A. Now the base price for the item is $3.50, and if we want a large, normally we would charge extra. So if you want to charge extra for something, for a large, for example, and we wanted to charge an extra 50 cents for it, you go plus 0.50. So just plus 50 cents basically. That's pretty much all it is. And we've popped it in group A because we need to know whether they want a regular or whether they want a large. Okay, so again, important, just click update modifier when you're done. When you're done editing all of them, you don't have to do them one by one. You can do it once you've done everything that you need on that particular item. So that's our required group. So we also have other options that we might want to know. For example, if they want soy, or if they want skim milk, or if they want syrup or what have you. Now, because these are not required modifiers, we've popped them in group B, and we haven't specified it in here. So at the moment, anything that's in A is compulsory that they have to select one option from that group. But because the rest of these are all optional, we just pop them in any old group just to sort of lump them together. And you can do pretty much anything. You can have as many modifiers as you want. So you can even have caramel, or ask for how many sugars they want, if it's an extra shot, all that kind of stuff. And again, just adding an extra price there if you need to. Okay, so that's what an item with modifiers looks like. Creating one is really easy. You just go onto this little tab that's on the right hand side of your item or on your menu. If you want to create an item, you just go to the menu that you want to create it under, and it'll come up here, say create menu item. You can also import them from Excel if you want to as well, or you can copy this menu to another place or another venue that you might have under here, or you can delete it altogether. So if we want to create menu items, so if we want to say, if we want to have a chai, for example, chai latte, we can pop a description in there if we want. We just pop the price in is $3.50, and that's our base price. And we don't have to enter a code in. We do, however, have to select the revenue center. So it's a beverage, and the item class, it already knows that if it's a beverage, it's likely to be under an other category. So if we wanted to have a required modifier in here, we would need to know, again, what size it is. So we're just going to pop in A. So we'll make that our required group. And we'll just go update menu. And there it appears nice and neatly. So again, you want to create something underneath that. You just go to the right hand side, create new modifier, and we can say regular, and we would put that under group A because that is a piece of information that we need to know. We're not going to add any price to it because it's already $3.50. We've used that as our base price, and then just create modifier. It'll say saving and successfully created. Then if we want to create a large, same process. Pop a large in there, and we want that in group A because again, required information. And we just do the same thing that we did with the other one, plus 50 cents. If you want to, it's entirely up to you. Again, create modifier. And there we have it. So you can, again, add as many modifiers as you want. If there's any other additives, any other options that you want to present, you can always pop them in there as well. So that's how to enter in an item. So if we wanted to create a brand new menu, you would just go to the venue that you want. So here we have 2 venues. So this is actually enables you to manage multiple venues at once. We want to create a new menu for Jack's Pantry. So we just go to that tab on the right hand side, create menu, really simple. So we want to create one here. We'll just call it lunch, for example. Add a description if you want. And also you can you say when you want it to be available, just because just for argument's sake, we'll say from 6 until 11. You can do it 24 hours, it doesn't really matter. This also just basically means that if you want a specific menu to be available on only some days and between some times, then this is where you would do it. So that's the menu type. It's lunch, it's included in the name, and you can allow people to take away and dine in, order from this menu. Now the menu group again is going to be lunch, and the menu, we would like to make this active. So just update, and then it appears here on the left hand side. And again, we just repeat the same process. When you want to create an item underneath that menu, you just type everything in here and just repeat the process. It's as simple as that. And don't forget that if you have another item which has all the same modifiers, instead of having to create all of those again, all you would need to do is just copy menu item. Then it'll appear down here at the bottom with copy next to it. All we need to do is just rename it and update menu item with the new name. And there we have our new item with all of the associated modifiers and stuff there as well. All really easy. Good luck.